Hello students, welcome to the second session of digital marketing course. So before we start the next session, let me do a recap of what we had done yesterday. So open the Photoshop. So this is the Photoshop interface. And yesterday, I showed you, in fact, I explained what is pixel, what is the use of Photoshop, what is color mode, what is foreground and background color, what is the resolution. Then coming to the toolbox, the basic first tool that we did, the shape tool, in which we have the following shapes. To draw the following shapes: rectangle, ellipse, triangle, polygon, line tool, and custom shape tool. So this much we have done yesterday. Now let me take this forward. So after the shape tool comes the another important tool, that is the text tool. This T icon that you see, this is a text tool. So text tool is used to write text, as we understand normally. So when you here also you will find a lot of tools inside this main text tool, because there is a button here. So click on that, and you'll find horizontal type tool, vertical type tool, and horizontal type mask tool, and vertical type mask tool. The horizontal type tool is basically to type horizontal text. Vertical type tool is to type vertical text. I'll show you just now. Then horizontal type mask tool is to mask the text. So that is a bit advanced thing. So we'll do it later. Let us first cover the basics tools. So today, now I'll show you how to use the type tool. So open a file, open a new page. So give the width and height. So I give 1024 pixel width and 768 height. You can give any width and height, but this is somewhat a standard width and height for a template. So I'm giving this. Otherwise, there is no fixed width and height in Photoshop. You can give any width and height. And the orientation I want is this. Means landscape orientation. And resolution, I'll set it to 72, as I explained yesterday, because we'll be designing for digital purpose, digital media. So we'll maintain a low resolution of 72 pixels per inch. And color mode will be RGB. Now yesterday I showed you two color modes. One is the RGB and another is the CMYK. And now there is another important color mode that we have, there is a grayscale. Now grayscale is basically, grayscale will convert the color image into a grayscale image. So that is the purpose of grayscale. Okay. And lab, bitmap, these are not important. These three are important: grayscale, RGB, and CMYK. RGB color mode, CMYK color mode, I explained to you yesterday. So RGB is three color printout, print is three color combination, and CMYK is four color combination, color mode. And grayscale is, it will drain out all the color and convert the image into gray, shades of gray. So that is the use of grayscale. Now, for our purpose, we'll be doing RGB because we'll be mainly designing for digital media. So RGB is the appropriate one, color mode for that. And then coming to the background content, we'll give white. So that our page color is white. Now I'll create the page. So this creates the page. Okay. Now we'll take the text tool. Which tool will take? In text tool, horizontal type tool. Horizontal type tool. So select this. So you get this icon, this cursor that you see, the straight line cursor. Now this horizontal text tool is used in two ways. One is just to click and type. Click and type. Just click. Now this is the default text that is coming. You don't want it, so you can delete it. And then type whatever you want. I want, suppose, hello world. So it is giving me this color. So by default, whatever color you have in the foreground color, that color will come as the text color. Now, so this is the text color that we have in the text box here. So these is all the parameters for text, and this is the color of the text, and this is the color of the shape. Now don't confuse between the two. Text color is this, and the shape color is this. Now if I want to change the text color, so when you type for the first time, these two colors will match by default. Now if you want to change it, what you can do, you can select it and then click on this color box opens, and here you can change the color. Suppose I change the color is changed. So select the text, click on the text color box, select your color, and this is the color code. Press OK, and your text color is changed. Now you see you have different colors. This is the text color, and this is the foreground color that is used to give color to the shape. And this is the color for the text. So don't confuse between these two. If you want to change the color of text, you have to use this, not this. Now this foreground color is used to apply color to my shape. And this color box that we have in the text parameter is used to apply color on the text. So this is the text color. Now as you can see here, when I type here, so it is by default, it is giving some parameters. So this is the font type. So select the text tool, and this is the font type. So here we have so many fonts, we have numerous fonts. So from here you can select any font you want, font type, right? And if you want to check how the font is applying, if you want to check that, what you can do, you can just select it. So take the text tool again, select it. Now just click on this. Now this is selected. Now what you can do, use the down arrow on your laptop or desktop. And using the down arrow, you can keep on changing the font type and see which font you want. You can select the font from here like this. Okay. So this is the method. So what is the method? Select the text first. Then in the font type here in the box, click on this. When you select, this will change to blue color, as you can see here. And then with the down arrow on your laptop or desktop, you can test the different font types and select the font that you want. So in this way, you can select it. So whichever font you want, you scroll like this and select the font. Now this is a font type. Now this is the font, whether it is bold, italic, underline, that part is coming here. Now for this particular font, as you can see here, only regular sample is there. So there is no bold font or any other font in this. If you change the font again, so suppose I change the font. Now let's check Comic Sans. Let's check it here. Yeah, there are so many font styles here. Regular, italic, bold, bold italic, all this. So font style depends upon what type of font type you choose. That is based on that. So Comic Sans has these 4 variations of the font style. There is regular, italic, bold, and bold italic. And if you want to bold italic, you can click on this. It will convert into bold and italic. Italic, as you know, is slanted text. Now to keep it selected, now come to the font size. Now currently the font size is 48, as you can see here. So you can reduce or increase the font size if you want to. So if I want to increase the font size, suppose I want to change it to 60. This is the font size 60. If I want to change to 72, I can change to 72 pixels font style, font size. And as you can see here, this is a list of font sizes. Now in between, if you want to do something, suppose here, as you can see, between 48 and 60, there is no font size. Correct. But you can do it here. Suppose I want font size 50. So what you can do, you can type it directly. Manually you can type it, that will give the font size 50. That you can do. It's not necessary that you have to choose from the list here. No. You can give any font size you want. Manually you have to enter that. So this is the font size. So all this you have to do by keeping the text selected. Okay. And then you come to the sharp. What type of font? That is sharp, crisp, strong, smooth, lot of them. And if you don't want any of them, give none. And if you want a smooth font, give smooth. If you want a strong font, give strong. If you want a crisp font, give crisp. If you want a sharp font, give sharp. So in this way, you change it. And then comes the alignment. So this is your left alignment. You align to the left, the text, you align to the left. So this currently by default is on left alignment. Now if you want it in the center, this is the center alignment, and this is the right alignment. Left, right, center. Right? And there is another alignment, there's justify. I'll show you how to do the justify. But here we have the 3 alignments. One is the alignment left, center, and right. And as I explained yesterday already, this is the font color, not this. This I already explained in the beginning of the session. So the font color you have to choose from here. Correct. Now this is all about the font. All the font parameters we have it here. Font type, font style, font size, and here also different types of font styles, whether sharp or crisp or strong or smooth. All these things you can give it here. Then this is the alignment, and this is the color of the font. So what I did, I just clicked on the page and I started typing. Correct. So this is one method. Now suppose I want to enclose my text in a paragraph. So this is not the way. This is just the way to type one single line of text. But if you want to create a paragraph, method is little different. What do? You take the text tool again, hold down the mouse button, and draw a text box like this. Hold down the mouse button, draw the text box, and draw whatever size you want in the text for the text box. Here I'm seeing the text box size is width is 327 pixel and height is 302 pixel. So W is width, H is height on the right hand side, as you can see here. So I leave this. So it will create a text box where I can create a paragraph with text. So first thing is, if you want to type a single line of text, just click and type. And if you want a paragraph, so you have to create a text box first and then type the paragraph here. Okay. Now here what you say, welcome to my page. Hello world. So like this you can type. And you will find that text is never going out of the text box. It will always remain within the text box, inside the text box. So that is the purpose of creating a text box. So when you create a text box, the text will remain within the dimension of the text box. It will not go outside the text box. Okay. And you can create a paragraph. So these are the two methods for the text. Right. Now, suppose I want to increase the size of my text box. What I do? So with the text tool, I click on this and then I get the nodes. So these are the nodes. So these are the nodes. With the nodes, you can increase the size of the text box. You can reduce the size of the text box. You can do that. But the text will always remain within the text box, inside the text box. It will never go out of the text box. If you enclose the text inside the text box, it will never go out of the text box. So these are two types of text that you can type. Okay. Now coming to the other text, that is the vertical text. So vertical, when you select the vertical text tool, you see the cursor is turning vertical. Now here you can type vertical text. I say hello. I say hello world. So in this way, you can type vertical text. So this is a vertical text and this is a horizontal text. And this marks tool, we'll do it later because that is the advanced part. We'll do it later. But for this horizontal text and vertical text, this is how you write the vertical text and horizontal text. So first comes the text tool, shape tool, then comes the text tool, shape tool, and then text tool. After that, there is another important tool that is called the eyedropper tool. So this is called eyedropper. As you can see, this tool looks like an eyedropper, a medicine eyedropper. So that is the name. So therefore, the tool name is eyedropper tool. Now, what is the use of this eyedropper tool? Eyedropper tool is used to pick colors, a particular color sample. So eyedropper tool is also called color picker tool. So it will pick up any color sample. So when you start designing, this is very important tool. Why? Let me explain that. Now suppose I open an image. I open an image here. Now see here. Suppose I open this image, very colorful image. See, it has host of colors. It has so many colors, right? Now from this here, I want to pick up a particular color sample. Now, if I ask you, for example, to pick up this color from the color box. So this is my color box, and I ask you to pick up exactly this color I want, this shade. Will it be possible to do it manually? No. To match this shade manually, it is not possible. But with the help of color picker tool, you can easily do that. You can easily pick up the color sample. How? Let me show you this. So take this color sample tool and take this color box, take color box here, open the color box, foreground color. And suppose I want this color of the rose here. So I click on this. See, it is changing. If I want this purple color, it will change. If I want this particular orange color, it changes. If I want this color, it changes. If I want the color of the cloud, it changes. If I want this color, it changes. So what happens is basically what it is doing, where you click, on which pixel value you are clicking, that pixel value is picked up. Because there are various pixel values here. This is cloud has a particular color. This windmill has a particular color. Here in middle of the windmill, there is a particular color. This house, this roof has a particular color. This daffodils, this flowers, they have a particular color. So clicking on the particular color sample, the color picker tool will pick up that particular color. And this is very, very important tool. Why? When I pick up this color, suppose I pick up this color, and then I can use that color. Suppose I want to draw a shape of that color. So I can draw that. Correct? And it will have the same color because the pixel is matching. So that is the use of the color sampler tool or color picker tool or eyedropper tool. So you can call it by any of the three names: eyedropper tool, color sampler tool, or color picker tool. So the job of the color picker tool or eyedropper tool is to pick up a particular color sample based on the pixel on which you are clicking. So it will pick up that particular color sample. So this is also a very important tool. And then next tool comes, important tool comes this one. This is called the rectangular marquee tool. But actually the job of this rectangular marquee tool is to select objects. Okay. Now for example, I take this rectangular marquee tool. So this is a selection tool actually. So you'll find a number of selection tools in the toolbox. So this is one of them. So one by one we'll cover all the selection tools. Now this is the most fundamental selection tool. So you'll do it first. So take this rectangular marquee tool. And what is this tool used for? Now suppose I want to make a selection of this small windmill. What I'll do, I'll just make a selection like this. Then I go to edit. I say copy. And then I create a new file. And I paste it. So see, whichever portion I've selected, that particular selected part is copied and pasted into new file. So that is the job of this rectangular marquee tool. So rectangular marquee tool is used to make selection of a particular portion of the image and then copy and paste it in a new file or the existing file. You can copy and paste it in this file itself if you want to. Here I've created a new file, but if you want to, you can make copy of this and paste it in the same file. I'll show you that. So what you do is say edit, copy, and then edit and paste. Now you see it is not visible. Why? Because this copy part is overlapping on this. So you can just separate it like this. Drag and separate it like this. So in this way you can make copies of the same, of the particular portion of the entire image. So this is the rectangular marquee tool, which is used to select a particular portion of the image and copy and paste either on a new file or on the existing file. Okay. So that is the use of rectangular marquee tool. Now there, along with that, there is another tool here. That is called elliptical marquee tool. What is the use of an elliptical marquee tool? Now in rectangular marquee tool, you are creating a rectangular selection. As you can see, these are rectangular selections or square selection. And in elliptical marquee tool, you'll make rounded selection, just like here, rounded. So edit, copy, edit, paste. See, so it will make a rounded selection like this. So it is rectangular selection or elliptical selection. Elliptical means rounded selection. So these are basically selection tools. You select. This will make a square or rectangular selection, and this will make a rounded selection. That's it. After that, what tool you have? You have the move tool. So this is the move tool. So with the move tool, what you can do? You can move. Now the selection portion, I can move around here. I can move around this here. So you can move around. So if you want to move around like this, now if I type something, suppose I'm typing something here, take a text box. Then I can move it. I can move around it. Where I want to place, I can place it. So this tool is used to move different objects, whether it's a text or an image. So this tool will move and place it at what in the location that you want. Different objects. You move the different objects, and you can place those objects or text in any location that you want. So that is the use of the move tool. Right? Then you have the eraser tool. Eraser tool is this. So eraser tool is used to erase something. Suppose you want to erase something, right? Suppose I want to erase this. So I can use the eraser to erase it. See, it is erasing like this. So that is the use of the erase tool, just like a eraser. It will erase off. It is erasing off. Yes. Okay. So these are the basic fundamental tools in Photoshop. So this starts with the shape tool, inside which you have various shapes, tools of various shapes. Then you have the text tool, where you have the vertical text and horizontal text. And if you want to enclose a particular paragraph in text, so you have to draw a text box first and then type the paragraph inside it. Right? And then you have eyedropper tool or color sampler tool to pick a particular sample of color. After that, you have the selection tool, rectangular selection tool or rectangular marquee tool, whereby you can make rectangular selection of a portion of the image and make a copy of that image. And similarly, you can make a circular selection also with the help of elliptical marquee tool and make a circular copy of that portion of the image. And then you have the move tool, which is this, to move around the different objects. And finally, we have the eraser tool, to erase off certain things. So to erase. So that is the eraser tool. Okay. So these are the most basic fundamental tools. Okay. Now, let us move to the next topic. Now, the most important topic in Photoshop is called layers. Layers, layers. So let's come to layers now. So layers in Photoshop is very, very important. Without layer, it's not possible to design anything in Photoshop. So layer is a must. So understand the layer concept properly. Okay. Now, what is a layer? Layer means, you can say, is just like transparent glass sheet, which is transparent glass sheets, and one glass sheet is placed above another glass sheet in a stack, one on top of the other. You place the transparent glass sheets, and on every glass sheet you place a certain object. So what will happen now? On a particular glass sheet, suppose you have 4 glass sheets stacked on top of each other. Not one just the lowermost layer, you place an object. And the glass sheet that is above this, you place another object. And the glass sheet that is above that, you place another object. Now, if you look vertically from the top, how will it appear? Since the glass sheets are transparent, I said transparent glass sheets, right? Now, since the glass sheets are transparent, it will appear as though all the objects are on the same glass sheet, on the same layer. But in reality, is not. They are on different glass sheets. But if you look vertically from the top, it will appear as if the objects are on the same glass sheet. So this is the concept of layer. Now, if you place a certain object on a particular glass sheet, transparent glass sheet, and if you move that glass sheet, will it affect the other glass sheets? No, because the object on other glass sheets is not placed on this glass sheet, so it will not move. Now, if you move a particular glass sheet, only that object on that glass sheet will move. Other objects placed on different glass sheets will not move. Correct. But if you place all the objects on the same glass sheet, then all the objects will move together because they're placed on the same glass sheet. So this is basically the concept of layer. Now let me explain it again. Imagine that you have a number of glass sheet. A number of transparent glass sheets placed one on top of the other. In a stack. Okay. Now, on a particular glass sheet, you place an object. Then you choose another glass sheet, you place another object. You take another glass sheet, you place another object. In this way, on every glass sheet, you place different objects. Now, if I move a particular glass sheet, now before moving, now after placing this, what you do, you look vertically from the top. So it will appear as if all the objects are on the same glass sheet. Because the glass sheets are transparent, you can see through. And therefore, it will appear as though all the objects are placed on the same glass sheet. But in reality, it is not. In reality, the objects on different glass sheets. Correct. Now, if you move a particular glass sheet, one particular glass sheet you move. So what will happen? The object that is placed on that particular glass sheet will move. But will it affect the other glass sheets? No, because other glass sheets you are not moving. You are keeping it the same. Correct. So, but when you select that, again, after you select that particular glass sheet, the object on top of that glass sheet will start moving. But other objects will not move because they're placed on different separate glass sheet. But if you place all the objects on one particular glass sheet, and if you move the glass sheet, what will happen? All the objects will move together. Now this is the concept of layer. Now let us see how the layer works in Photoshop. Now what we'll do? So let's close this now. Open a new file. Now, to keep now this is a layer box. How do you get the layer box if it is not visible here? So go to Window menu and come down here, layers. So click on this layers. So it will open the layer box. It will open the layer box. So this is my layer box. And when I'm creating a blank page, by default, it will create a default layer and name the layer as background layer. So this background layer you are not creating, it is created by default. When you create a new page, by default, the background layer will be created. And the layer will be named as background, as you can see here. And that background layer will remain locked by default. So background layer remains locked. You can unlock it, but for the timing, let us keep it remain locked. Now, suppose I want to place an object. So I'll take the shape tool, take the rectangle tool. This is my color. I draw the object. Now this object is placed where? It is placed on the background layer. And since the background layer is locked, that means you cannot perform any action on this particular layer. It will not allow. Now suppose I want to move this object. Let's try. See, if I try to move this object, it's giving the message. The current selected layer is a background layer. It cannot move a background layer or change its stacking order, blending mode, or opacity. So if the layer is locked, you cannot perform any action on that. That is the meaning of locked layer. So what I'll do, I'll not place an object on the background layer. Let's remove this. So what I'll do, I'll create a new layer. So this plus button, as you can see here at the footer here, there is the button to create a new layer. So here I'll click on this and I'll create a new layer. And then I draw. Now you see, when I see from the top, it appears as if it is on the same layer. There is only one layer. But here we have two separate layers, but it appears as if it is on the same layer, which is not. But there is a huge difference what we had previously and what we have now. Previously, what we had done, we have placed this object on the background layer. And since the background layer is locked, we could not perform any action on that particular object. We could not move it, we could not resize it, nothing is possible. But now what we have done, we have kept the background layer as it is. We have not placed anything on the background layer. We have created a new layer. And on the new layer, we have placed this object. And this new layer, as you can see, is not locked. It is a free layer. It's not locked, it's unlocked layer. So what you can do, you can now move it freely. See, you can move it. You can move it. You can resize it. You can rotate it. Whatever you want, you can do. Because this layer is not locked. Correct? So this is the concept of layer. Now suppose I want to place another object. I take the ellipse tool. I take a color. And then draw the ellipse circle. Now what I've done, on the same layer, in layer 1, I place these two objects. Now if you want to do something on this object, what will happen? Or both the objects will work together. Why? Because both the objects are on the same layer. Imagine this, as I said, the transparent glass sheet. If you place both the objects on the glass sheet and if you move the glass sheet, obviously both of them will move. And if you want to resize it or rotate it, it will, whatever it does, it will do it together. Because both the objects are on the same layer. See here. Now, if I want to resize it, both the objects will be resized. If I want to rotate it, both the objects will be rotated. And if I want to move it, both these objects will be moved. Why? Both the objects are on the same layer. So therefore, if I want to have control over each and every object, so this is not feasible. I cannot allow the object to be affected by the other object. I want full control over each and every object. So what I'll do, in one layer, I'll place only one object. I'll not place more than one object in one layer. So what I'll do, I'll place only one object here in layer 1, and then I'll create another layer and place that object here. Now you see, from the top it appears as if they're on the same layer, but it's not. Now the situation is totally different. Previously, both the objects was on layer 1, but now I've separated them. This rectangle object I placed on layer 1 and circle object I placed on layer 2. So when I do that, what will happen? I'll have more control over each and every object. If I want to do something with each object, say if I move it, the other object is not moving. And if I want to move this object, it is moving, but the circle object is not moving. So I have full control now over each and every object. If I want to resize this will resize or rotate without affecting the other object. And if I want to resize this or rotate or move, I can do it without affecting the other object. So I have full control on each and every object. So that is the concept of layer. So in order to have full control over each and every object, don't place more than one object in one layer. So create new layer and place that object on that particular layer. Now there is no restriction to the number of layers that you can create. You can create as many layers as you want. So keep on creating layer and placing objects. But remember one thing, don't place more than one object on one layer. So that is the basic thumb rule of layers. So I hope the layer concept is clear to you. And tomorrow, now layer concept is a very important, most important, I'll not say very important, I'll say it is the most important concept in Photoshop. Without layers, it is virtually not possible to do anything in Photoshop. So layers, we have to learn thoroughly what is layers, what are the different aspects of layers. So today I hope I've been able to give a clear idea what is layer, and tomorrow we'll continue with this, the layer. So we have more properties of layer: to hide layer, to show layer, to lock layer, to unlock layer, to change the order of layer, to create layer, to delete layer, to merge layers. So a lot of things are there in layers. So you have to do that. Now after doing that, only then we can attempt to design something, otherwise not. So before you attempt to design something, you have to learn layer concept thoroughly and understand it, and then apply it. Okay. So let me end it here today, and tomorrow we'll continue with this, with the layers. We'll get more deeper into layers tomorrow. Thank you for attending.